welcome to BWTM Sports. Glad you could be here to watch another video. Just a side note, don't forget to subscribe to BWTM Gaming. Yeah, BWTM Gaming, we have a gaming channel. A lot of stuff doing FIFA over that moment. FC24, been doing a rebuild series with QPR. Started them off where they were in the league. Now they're playing, just begin to play Champions League football. And then last episode, we'd won the Europa League final. All these matches, all these games are broadcast live on BWTM Gaming. It's got a little cult following there. So, yeah, get yourself over, BWTM Gaming, and subscribe. Really would love to see you over there. I'm over there, was over there most nights if I started my new job. We'll probably be over there on the weekends so I can kind of chill and relax and get into some very interesting conversations with my good people, ST, Marky, BA, and a few others that are over there as well. So shout out to you guys as well. All right, on to this topic. I've kept quiet about it for a while, and I'm fed up hearing about it. So I'm going to give you my BWTM sports thoughts on Crawford versus Canelo, or Canelo versus Crawford. You know, the fight itself, the idea of the fight, Crawford versus Canelo on paper sounds fantastic. In theory, it sounds fantastic, but the harsh realities are this, and slightly long-winded, but I'm going to get into it. I'm going to take it from Canelo first of all. Now, I remember Canelo in his career when he was down at welterweight, or light welterweight, around that time. And I've seen Canelo move slowly through the ranks from welterweight to, I think it's welterweight, light middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight. Do you remember those conversations people used to say about Canelo could beat Usyk? Do you remember those stupid conversations? And then Bivol put hands on him. And then the reality hit that, nah, bro, you might have been sparring that Cuban, what's his name, Frank Sanchez, heavyweight in sparring. You might have been doing it in sparring for fun. But this light heavyweight's got skills, and he's got speed, and he's got power, and he's got movement. You're not moving up to heavyweight and beating no Usyk. Do you remember those conversations? Because he found his level when he reached to light heavyweight. You know, he could just march forward and throw punches like he was doing at super middleweight and middleweight and being a weight bully. He found a guy that was giving him resistance and punching him back regularly and hurting him. Maybe not to knock him out, but to let him know, you know what, bro, all that stuff you were doing down at super middleweight and at middleweight, and you were the bully. You're not bullying me tonight. I'm going to back you up and I'm going to beat you up. And that's exactly what happened to Canelo, right? So people can make excuses all they want. Oh, Canelo was injured. He's not beating Bivol. Just stop it. So the only way you can beat Bivol is hopefully, if I'm asking Canelo to get in the ring of Bivol, drag him down to super middleweight, because he's been at light heavyweight for so long now. Drag him down to super middleweight. It's the only chance you've got. You might drain him. So down the stretch, and he's older. Down the stretch, you might be able to, you know, hit him, hurt him down the stretch. He might be weak to the body late down the stretch. And you might be able to weight drain him and stop him. And his punches might not be the same as he's at light heavyweight. And I'm talking about that. But anyway. But I watched how Canelo literally grew from that welterweight up to super middleweight. I remember how people used to talk about Canelo's structure, his body structure. And we had time to see Canelo evolve, get bigger, get stronger, you know, physically change his neck size and all this stuff. We saw that. We had the, if you want to call it beauty or the time to watch Canelo evolve into what we see today as a super middleweight. Yeah. We saw that. And we saw that transition with no pressure. No pressure. No, you've got to fight this guy. Just moving up. He fought Floyd, and he got embarrassed, and he failed against Floyd. Do you know what I mean? And he had either he had more fights than Floyd, or he was slightly younger than Floyd. Something like that, or what it was. But anyway, I think it was the fact that he had a lot of fights, so he wasn't inexperienced going to fight. He just met a highly skilled boxer, right? And ever since that time, I've noticed that it seemed to be like this competition, or this sort of, well, Floyd beat me when I was younger, but I wasn't experienced, all these excuses. So what he's trying to do is emulate Floyd by saying, well, I've moved up in all these weight divisions, so it makes me better than Floyd. It always seemed that since Canelo got beat by Floyd, it was always the case of, well, I'm going to show you that I'm better than you, Floyd, by moving up in weight divisions and doing these things, which is commendable to Canelo, and I think Canelo's a very good fighter. So I'm not knocking Canelo. However, we had the time to see him move through the ranks. He didn't just jump from one weight division to another weight division, another weight division. You had him time to fight, pick his fights, have his fights, and then move up. You understand? And move up. Now, this thing with Crawford, I warned you all when he fought this last opponent. I said, in this fight, we will learn whether he's able to move up to fight Canelo by how he handles this heavier-handed, stronger guy who's natural at weight. And we saw he was highly skilled. He had heavy hands. He could take a shot and be able to walk down Crawford. And because of those things, those factors, the Crawford fight against Canelo, it's somewhat tainted that. You see, if Charlo had moved up in weight the same way, and he got stuck like that, Jamal I'm talking about, and he got stuck like that, like he did like Crawford did, and have a tough fight, and didn't look that impressive, the Canelo fight wouldn't have happened. That's why he jumped those two weight divisions to fight Canelo, so there was no in-between fight. There was no filler fight to say, oh, I'm going to try myself out of this weight to see how I look. You know, and that's what happens when you decide to move up in weight and take on a guy who's naturally at that weight, and you're a weight bully and you move up. All the things you were able to do as a weight bully, all those advantages you had, you no longer have those advantages. You understand? And it's commendable. I saw Crawford's talent from a way, a long time ago. I was one of the first, if not the first, British journalist or boxing media outlet to interview Crawford. Not once, but twice. 15-minute interviews. That's when nobody was talking about Crawford. That's when people say Ricky Burns would have beaten Crawford. Back in those days. Yeah. So you can check those interviews out on BWTM Sports. Anyway, that's the archives. But anyway, so I knew from there he was a talent. And, you know, the fact of the matter is, he's a talented fighter. But that last fight, if you saw the amount of times he was getting hit and he was being touched with a right hand, and you think to yourself, well, another guy like Canelo, that's what, now we're talking about like middleweight, and talking about a guy who can fight as high as light heavyweight. You know, he might be coming to Wayne like a cruiserweight. Crawford had problems budging this guy. What's he going to do against Canelo? Canelo will walk down Crawford and beat the crap out of Crawford. Crawford's not like Floyd. Crawford's a guy that will sit in the pocket and trade with you more. Floyd's a guy that will hit with a shot and move. Hit with a shot and move. Ping, 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 gone. You know, Crawford's ego would stand in front of you and try and trade. Floyd will trade when he wants to trade, and he'll move. And Floyd hit you, boom, hit you with the right hand, and he's gone. Floyd's like a magician. Now you see him, now you don't. It's like a thief in the night. Because Crawford's not quite like that. And when Crawford gets stuck in a position, as you saw it in that last fight, smash him off, it's like it was one way he got hit with the right hand, continuously got hit with the right hand. He must have got stunned by a punch, and he was standing there, put his gloves up and started getting hit with shots. Could you imagine him doing that against Canelo? The fight's a sick fight. It is a sick fight. And it's only people that want to see Crawford get hurt, knocked out, that want to see that fight. Because that fight's not... There are guys in the light middleweight division that will give Crawford a proper run for his money and possibly beat him. And don't get me started about trying to bring out 41 or 42-year-old Gennady Golovkin out for Crawford. Because if he's having problems against this guy, if Gennady Golovkin touches Crawford, and he will, and he'll put himself in position to hit Crawford, and Golovkin's still got a great chin, and he can punch. I will want to see Golovkin laying hands on Crawford, to be honest. And imagine Golovkin landing on Crawford. You know, we already saw a Kell Brook go up 2 weight divisions and try and fight Golovkin. And we saw what happened there. I know that Crawford's more skilled than Kell Brook, but it's a dangerous fight. For what reason? I mean, Golovkin would have had some nice time to rest. I mean, he might be a little slower, but Golovkin's never been about... He's never been about foot speed, Golovkin. So guys like Golovkin may fight a little longer. It's not a foot speed. He'll take a few punches, but when he lands... I mean, my only thing about Golovkin, he's never knocked out too many world-class, elite fighters. Not like a Julian Jackson. But I think he hits hard enough to stop Crawford. Even at this age. And again, that's a guy that's naturally heavier than the light middleweight that Crawford already fought. So I have some real concerns about Crawford and Canelo. I don't think it's a realistic fight, especially after the last fight he had. Yes, he may have won, but I'm sorry, it's not a fight that I'd be interested in, and certainly not a fight that Crawford should be interested in. And the only reason Crawford would jump up and go and fight Canelo is a payday. Yes, every fighter deserves to get paid, but for me, that's not a fight that's realistic. If they both started in the welterweight division and they both moved up at similar times, Crawford and Canelo moved up at similar times, and they both had fought like middle, super middle, and Crawford showed he was capable of fighting at middleweight, I would look at that fight, but it's shown at Crawford that there's a level, and I don't think his body goes beyond light middleweight. Truth be told, or we get another fight like a Charlo fight, but even worse. Those are my thoughts, because I think Charlo's operated obviously at that weight division, light middleweight, obviously a lot longer than Crawford. My thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Yeah, peace out.